Eternal Sword M. Visually speaking, Eternal Sword M is stunning. The mix of hand-drawn art and 3D textures gives it a warm look, but beyond the graphics is an action MMORPG. The autoplay and auto quest feature can be deactivated and the combat is somewhat decent. The story and the choices you make can change what happens next, and that's rare in mobile MMOs. The game has a few bugs, but overall, the autoplay can come in helpful, but you can totally play the game without it, and the time quests are there to prevent players from spending too much time in the game. Eternal Sword M is a decent MMO Hunter Eternal War. The first thing you will notice in Devil Hunter Eternal War is once you select a class, that is it. You will be stuck with the one base model character. Yeah, why even bother creating a character? Cause that's not what role-playing games are all about. Once you start your quest, the game relies heavily on autoplay. The classes are virtually identical, the storyline coupled with the what seems to be Google translated dialogues are a mess, and best for last, the game is heavily pay to win. So at this point, the only thing there is to recommend about this game are its visuals, because the game looks great. Aura Kingdom 2 set the tone from the get-go. You're spammed with a bunch of pop-up ads before you even start the game. The visuals in the game are nice and the anime style will cater to many. You can also switch between low, medium and high settings to suit your device. The game offers limited character customization and the story is nothing to write home about either. Add to that the server bugs and you will get a grasp of what's on the menu here. An anime MMORPG that is just barely above average, but I didn't personally experience any pay to win content as the in-game purchases were mostly for cosmetics, and that's definitely Icarus M. Based on Riders of Icarus on PC, Icarus M looks to replicate the PC game's success on mobile. The game has decent visuals and the combat mechanics, although a bit too simple, are fun and flashy as I like them. There's also aerial combat with dungeons that are designed specifically for flying and taming flying mounts. Pretty cool. Raids are available with up to 10 players in real time, and on the downside, Icarus M suffers from a forgettable plot, gender-locked classes and an annoying autoplay feature that just won't turn off, so give it a try if you like what you see, but with a pinch of V4. V4 has a lot of things going for it. For starters, the game looks absolutely gorgeous, from the character to the world design, a world by the way that feels massive. This is an MMORPG that has enough content to keep you playing for a long time. And the combat on one hand requires a little more than just basic attacks, and on the other, the autoplay feature is useful to do some mindless grinding. The things that keep V4 from ranking any higher are its somewhat forgettable story, the grind, because believe me, this game wants you to grind and keep on grinding. And last but not least, its pay to win incentives. So with all that said, do I recommend it? Sure, it's definitely A3 still alive. A3 is the latest MMORPG to land on mobile in 2020, and also it was the game I played during my first livestream ever. Boom! Oh! And if you've missed it, link is down in the description. A3 Still Alive comes with a somewhat boring campaign and forgettable dialogues. I enjoyed the flashy combat on the other hand, and dungeons were fun too. The one thing that A3 does that most, if not no other mobile MMORPG do, is the Battle Royale mode, where you and a bunch of other players fight your way through the center of a ring, collecting buffs and skill upgrades along the way, and just for this mode alone, I highly World of Dragon Nest. World of Dragon Nest brings a new experience to the Dragon Nest franchise and is a big improvement on the previous mobile game Dragon Nest M. Going away from the dungeon crawling style, the game is an open world MMO where you'll be visiting Saint Haven and many other familiar locations from the PC game. 5 classes are available, which include Slayer and Sorceress, but there is sadly very little in terms of customizing your character. The visuals are decent but nothing out of the ordinary, and the open world isn't as dense and lively as games like Black Desert Mobile. But the cute art style is charming, the flashy moves entertaining, and the dual profession system a nice touch. And when the servers aren't too overloaded, it's definitely a fun. Naruto Slugfest. Naruto Slugfest is the first truly open-world 3D MMORPG on mobile based on the popular anime and gathered enough votes to land in the 3rd spot. The game takes place in the Hidden Leaf village with you on a quest of becoming an epic ninja warrior. There are 4 classes to choose from, and you can also pick an elemental attribute to master and even summon your favorite characters from the series to give you a hand, which I'm sure will please many fans of the anime. Naruto Slugfest graphics look beautiful, and the light and shadow effect, day and night cycle, and weather changes are all impressive features. You can go on solo quests, trial challenges, one-on-one or clan vs clan battles. It's also worth mentioning that the game is packed with animated in-game cutscenes with the original voice actors. And in Naruto fans, Dragon Raja. Tencent has released many MMOs on mobile, but Dragon Raja is their latest, and if I may, ultimate work so far. The visuals in this game are easily some of the best you can find on mobile, and the game looks very polished running on the Unreal Engine 4. And if you're into Japanese RPGs and animes, then this game will hit the sweet spot, as it has anime style characters with voice acting and just a JRPG vibe that reminds me of the Persona series. The freedom Dragon Raja gives in terms of side quests and activities is great. Yes, the game has its flaws, namely the funky translations, the pay to win and autoplay features, but the good outweighs the bad here, and at the time of this video coming out, the best looking MMO on mobile and your number 2 for best, Black Desert Mobile. Let's get something out of the way. Black Desert Mobile is not some low quality mobile game to cash in on a PC game success, but rather it is a fully realized Black Desert game on its own that actually does a couple of things better than its big brother on PC. For starters, you can customize your character with way more choices than your average mobile MMO, and when you're done and ready to go, the main quest story awaiting you is nicely crafted and in my opinion even better than the PC version. Yes, it is the exact same story, but the presentation on mobile with animated NPC portrait is a pleasant addition. The plot will take you across each of the game's major cities with fast travel once you've visited each area for the first time. Another improvement from the PC game is the pet breeding and a job system. Autoplay is completely optional and the combat is actually fun. Plus the bosses are awesome, and when I got the hang of it, it felt at times like I was playing Bloodborne and a Devil May Cry hybrid. Black Desert Mobile, despite the pay-to-win model, has a ton of content coupled with gorgeous visuals and fun gameplay, and it is your pick for best MMORPG of 2020. And that sums up your picks for the best MMORPGs out in 2020, and I'm just curious, which game did you vote for? Let's continue the discussion in the comment section down below. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, your likes helps me out more than you can imagine, and subscribing is a good idea if you haven't yet, as I make new videos.